Okay, now we finally got the multi-stream. All I had to do was restart Streamlabs. Okay, let's try this for a fifth time. I hate myself.
Hello, Felix. So, it was your turn to clean out the greenhouse, right?
Yes.
Well, I went ahead and took care of it. I also cleaned up the warehouse.
Why?
I just wanted to help you out. So that... Okay, fine. I'm bribing you. So you'll forget.
Forget what?
Are you really gonna make me say it? Before, in the greenhouse, I want you to forget what you saw and heard. If you agree to forget about it, I'll take your shift in the stables. Do we have a deal?
No thanks.
No? But that's not okay! You have to forget about it, right this moment!
I can't. It's permanently etched in my memory. A mountain of sweets, as well as steaks and cakes. Stacks of them, apparently. I'm also intrigued by those bear and swamp beastie songs you mentioned. Ah, and I've been meaning to ask about the move that went along with crumbs and yums. Was that fencing footwork?
Oh, stop it, Felix! You're a villain!
Hmm?
You think you're so funny? Keeping a straight face while mocking my singing and dancing? Well, you have to forget about it. Please. What if I make you a nice steak dinner? You like steak, don't you, Felix? It'll be yummy.
This isn't about steak. I just...
Fine. Be stubborn. Tell the whole world for all I care. I'll just learn to live with the funny looks I'll get from everyone. They'll all say, there goes that Annette, the girl with the funny ideas about food. You're just the evilest of villains, Felix! I'll hate you forever and ever!
I was just trying to be nice. Funny ideas about food? Even the bullies in her head are ridiculous. I really don't understand that girl. Flane, what's that you're hiding?
Oh no, my surprise is spoiled. I had brought some fruits for you to cut up in addition to the firewood. I thought some variation might prove amusing.
No, I'm not doing that again. I've got better uses for my sword than chopping up fruit and firewood.
I cannot imagine what could be better than chopping fruit.
Chopping up my enemies.
You say that as though you have many enemies. So you would rather chop people than firewood, is that it?
That's not how I put it, but a blade's purpose is to kill. To chop wood, use an axe. To chop food, use a knife. It's simple.
Surely it is not forbidden to use your sword for other things, like chopping fruit. Swords that cut inanimate objects are serving a much finer purpose than those that cut living beings.
What a noble sentiment. But without a blade to cut down your enemies, you cannot win. Those who are weak lose everything and they die. Those who are strong win and live on. I understand why you bulk at bloodshed, but you must know that it has a purpose.
And what purpose might that be?
A purpose. Let's just leave it at that. I'm not in the mood to debate you. I'll continue to wield my sword, and if necessary, cut down my enemies.
He certainly is a stubborn one. Oh, Ash, are you here to study too?
I am. It's quiet here. Easier to concentrate.
It really is. Hey, would you like to study together? We can help each other out if we get stuck.
Oh, yes. We'll get a lot more done working together.
matter, Ash?
This question's got me stumped. A ballista inside a castle is ready to fire at enemies outside. What angle should be used for the shot? Assume the ballista is the same as those in Garreg Mach. Ignore the effects of wind. This is for defensive strategy, isn't it? Why is it so complicated? Don't you just aim and fire?
It may help to focus on maximizing target accuracy to reduce your miss rate. To start, let's sort out the setup. Let's see. Using these ballista specifications, if the ballista corals follow this trajectory, they'll hit the enemy lines, right?
Oh, that makes sense, because the enemy line will be here.
That's it! Okay, now try using that same technique and applying it to this other problem.
If the walls are this high and the enemy lines are at that distance... Oh, I think I see!
I knew you'd get it.
Wow, I didn't expect math of all things to be useful in a siege. This is tough. Numbers are not my strong suit. But this really is the sort of thing you have to know if you want to command troops.
That's true, but not everyone is good with numbers. That's why we have tacticians do these calculations for us, or prepare them before we go to battle. A century ago, the Empire's mathematicians played a huge role in the Battle of the Wall of Fodlan.
I had no idea. Hey, you really know what you're doing, Annette.
You think so?
Definitely. You've obviously done a lot of studying. I really admire that.
I suppose I have. Studying is a necessity if you want the advantage over your enemies. But necessity aside, it's nice to hear you say that.
Do you know this legend, Ingrid? It's about the Battle of Fodlan's Throat.
Oh yes, I know it like the hilt of my sword.
With so many valiant knights appearing in this story, I couldn't help but wonder which was your favorite. I really like this one, the one in the middle, the knight who stands in defense of the Duke.
Such a wonderful knight. One of my favorites as well.
That makes sense. He's so noble and virtuous. In fact, he kind of reminds me of you.
Thank you. You remind me of him as well. You are honest, as is he.
No, I'm nowhere near as great. Maybe someday. Maybe if we work hard together, we can both become knights as glorious as the one in this story.
Together, yes. Now wouldn't that be something? If only we could.
Huh?
Ash, the legends are exactly that. Legends. They're not indicative of real life. The cards we are dealt are what they are. We can work with what we have, but we can't change what's in our hand.
What's that supposed to mean?
I long to serve His Highness as a knight. The sort of knight that legends are written about. But I was born bearing a crest, and with that comes responsibility. Whether I like it or not, I am the last hope of House Galatea. I am the only one who can carry on the family bloodline and restore our lost fortune. To do that means setting aside my own dreams and ambitions.
You still have the right to pursue your dreams.
Ash, I must ask something of you.
Yes, of course. Anything.
My dream is aligned with your own. Please, for both of us, promise to see yours through.
That doesn't seem fair.
I'll never be able to see my dream through. Doing so would mean terrible misfortune for others.
Cough,
So,
cough, press the flower, cough, cough.
I am bound by
If
honor
you
not to
approve
follow
Ingrid
through
into
on my own dream.
Black Eagles.
But I can help you achieve yours.
I think.
Come on, this isn't like you at all. Please, don't smile when your eyes are so sad. Hello, Catherine. I thought I might find you here.
Is there something I can do for you, Ash?
Yes. Could you tell me what you know about this?
This is quite an old letter. Where'd you find it?
It was found in the bishop's room during the inquiry of the Western Church.
I see. It's one of the documents you collected.
This letter mentions my brother, Christoph Gaspar, by name. He was executed by the church for allegedly taking part in the tragedy of Dusker. I know you were the one who turned him over. But this letter isn't about that. It's about a plot to assassinate Lady Rhea. If my brother's name is in here, that means this plot predates the tragedy. So there was another plot against Lady Rhea in the past, and my brother was somehow involved.
Ah.
I can tell by your face that you know something. Tell me, Catherine. Please, I deserve to know.
Christoph was a good man. Maybe too good. It wasn't in his nature to mistrust people. So when the Western Church told him that Lady Rhea had to die for the goddess's sake, or the world's, he went along with it.
Just how well did you know my brother?
Christoph and I were friends. We were in the Blue Lion House together at the academy.
If you were friends, why did you hand him over to be executed? There must have been another way.
No. If there was another option, I'd have chosen it. But he was foolish. He went along with the plan to assassinate Lady Rhea. I wasn't motivated by a personal grudge. I had no choice but to turn him in. That much is true.
I can't believe that my brother would try to assassinate Lady Rhea. But if he did, that means the church was lying about his involvement in the tragedy of Dusker, doesn't it?
Lying is a strong word. The world was in chaos, and the church did what it had to. If people had known about the threat to Lady Rhea's life, the panic would only have worsened.
So you're saying everything in this letter is true?
You can choose what to believe. All I know is I let him die, and that's something I can never change. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Catherine, wait! Please! What are all these books doing on the floor? Hey, Cyril, what's going on here?
I'm tidying up the library, sweeping the floors, dusting the shelves, restacking the books.
Isn't there a schedule for library cleaning duty? Why are you doing all of this by yourself?
Oh, I'm helping out the kid whose job it is. He says I'm making him look bad, but I'm just happy to help. Besides, some of these books are valuable. Gotta handle them carefully. Not a lot of people get that.
But there are so many. You really think you'll get all this done today?
Easy. There's more stuff to do tomorrow, so the library has gotta get done today.
And I guess you're planning to do all that by yourself, too.
Yep.
Come on, it'll be dusk soon. Let me help.
Nah, it's my job and I'm gonna do it.
There is no way one person can shelve all these books before nightfall, Cyril.
Like I said, these books need to be handled real careful. Shouldn't you be doing your own thing anyway? This is my job, and I'm gonna do it because I know Lady Rhea expects it done a certain way.
I can't just stand here and watch. I won't get in your way, all right? I'll handle this shelf, and you take the next one.
Listen, I said I don't need your help.
I promise I'll be careful, okay? Let's just get to it.
Fine. You do over there, I'll do all of this.
Got it.
Mercedes, you look divine as always. Are you off to pray?
Oh, hello, Sylvain. I was just on my way to pray. How did you guess?
Well, because I've been watching your lovely...
Oh, I get it. You're the type who's always looking at girls, aren't you?
I won't lie, I do enjoy beholding women, but I don't mean it like that with you. I know I sound like a dope. I think you're special.
Oh, really? You think I'm so clumsy that I need someone to watch over me. Is that why you can't take your eyes off me?
You're beautiful, and I mean that. You're... how can I put it without sounding even worse? Okay, here goes. I want to get to know you better. As friends, I mean.
I don't know where to begin.
Well, what's something you like?
I like to pray. I've been praying regularly since I was a child.
You grew up in the Empire, didn't you?
That's right. I was raised in House Bartels.
Bartels? I thought you were born to House Martreats.
It's a complicated story. I'm not sure that it's a very interesting one, but I'm happy to share it with you.
I don't mean to be nosy, if it's too personal.
Oh no, I don't mind. I wasn't trying to hide anything from you. House Martreats fell shortly before I was born.
Oh.
My father passed away while my mother was still pregnant with me, so she had nowhere to go. After I was born, my mother ended up marrying the head of House Bartels. Shortly after, my mother bore a true Bartels child who bore a crest. She and I were treated as though we were no longer useful to the family after that.
You think the Bartels were just using her to secure a crest?
They must have been. My mother and I were removed from the family and forced to flee to a church in the kingdom. I abandoned the Bartels name and took up our old family name again.
So you grew up in a church. Okay, it makes more sense now why you're praying all the time.
Yes, Oh, praying! I forgot that I was on my way to pray.
Right, and I interrupted you. Well, see you around, Mercedes.
Yes, see you!
House Bartels wanted a crest, and ruined other people's lives to get one. These idiots are all the same.
That shopping trip took longer than expected, didn't it, Mercy?
It truly did. You bought just about everything in the place.
You're so good at deciding the best thing to buy. I sort of wanted it all. I mean, not that I was excessive. I think you bought just about as much as I did.
Oh, really? The number of bags you're carrying says otherwise.
What? That's... Oh, fine. You got me. I was just having too much fun. I love shopping with you, Mercy.
It was fun. It's nice going into town without having to run errands for once.
Isn't it? And I'm pretty confident the professor will forgive our little detour. This actually reminds me of going to school in Ferdiad.
Me too. It almost feels like that time in our lives was a story from long ago.
So much has changed since then. Oh, but there's at least one thing that hasn't changed.
Me and you, right? We're the same old friends we always were.
That's just what I was about to say.
I've known you so long I can always guess.
Mercy, we'll stay friends like this forever, won't we?
Is something wrong? You sound worried.
Since our time in the capital, so much has happened. We've had to make new lives for ourselves, and we've seen at least as many hard times as good. If things keep changing like this, I wonder if we'll be able to stay the same people we are now.
I wonder that too. I don't think everything in the future will be perfect, but it's us. So I'm sure
we'll figure it out together, right?
How did you know what I was going to say?
Oh, Mercy, I can always guess what you're gonna say.
Oh, it's getting late. We better hurry back before the professor gets angry.
You're right. Run, Mercy!
What? Wait for me, Annie. You know I'm not as fast as you.
Run!
Mercedes, hello. I have a request for you.
Oh, Aloise. What could you possibly need at this hour?
A little birdie told me you're good at telling ghost stories.
I suppose I am.
So it's true. Excellent. I'd like to hear one of your finest ghost stories. Would you be amenable?
Goodness, you want me to share one? Well, certainly. I'm rarely asked to tell ghost stories. Which should I tell? Perhaps the one I heard in the monastery the other day.
Wait a moment.
Is something the matter?
I was only asking whether you'd tell me. The telling itself will have to be another time.
Are you sure? It's no trouble right now.
No, I have to steel myself. I have something important to do.
I see.
What?
That's a shame, but
Yeah,
I
I see
suppose
you.
it can't be helped. If you don't mind my asking, why the sudden interest in hearing a ghost story?
Well, you see, ghosts terrify me. But I'm a knight. Someday, somewhere, I may have to deal with one.
A knight who's afraid of ghosts.
Yes, it's quite embarrassing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Even knights can't be stoic toward everything. I'm impressed that you're
What are you
working
doing?
so hard to face your fear.
No, it's nothing, really.
I will tell you my scariest ghost story the next chance I get.
Oh, it needn't be your very scariest. A moderately scary story will suffice. To sigh at someone the moment they enter the room?
Hanneman, isn't it a bit rude to tell others how to behave? Besides, I could be sighing about things more interesting than you.
Goodness, you're unusually irritable today. Don't you imagine your attitude excessive? You sneak thing, your ill mood on one and all. It saddens me to see such behavior from one who should be setting a good example for the younger generation.
Well, listen to the noble lecturing a lowly commoner to be on her best behavior. Oh, wait, I meant to say the former noble.
I fail to understand how my birth is relevant to the topic at hand. I was merely trying to...
Precious crest research.
I don't know what to say to you, Manuela. I was only speaking out of honest concern.
Oh, was that a sigh I heard? Isn't it a bit rude to sigh at someone just because?
Don't be so childish. You are so sensitive to ill will from others, yet you let your own emotions run wild. Why is it that you cannot keep a handle on yourself?
Keep a handle on? Well, I've never. What makes you think you're so much better? Just because you keep your emotions bottled up behind your stupid, stony face. Well, it doesn't mean everyone else has to do the same. Stop telling everyone how to behave, Hanneman. It will make you and the rest of us much happier.
I will not stand for this insolence. It is high time someone taught you.
Go on. If you think you can change me, I'd like to see you try. Ha! Thought so. You wouldn't dare.
Absolutely insufferable.
Hey, Aloise. Looks like you're done for the day. Care to join me in the dining hall?
Ah, Catherine, how could I refuse?
Nothing like a good drink. I feel better already. The grub's not bad either. This is the perfect way to end a long day of work.
I couldn't agree more. It feels like a weight's been lifted from my shoulders. It's at times like this, when worldly worries fall away, that I can really live in the moment. It's intoxicating.
Worldly worries, live in the moment. Look who's suddenly waxing poetic. Wait, you feel intoxicated before you've had a drop of booze? Talk about a lightweight.
Hello! Just the man I was looking for.
Ah, yes. Were you the fellow selling ancient coins?
Yes, sir. Since our meeting at the antique shop yesterday, I got my hands on something new. Here we are. Look at this magnificent coin. Do you see the engraving? It's the crest of House Karen, one of the kingdom's most prominent noble families. It's an exceptionally rare piece, commissioned by a hero 1,000 years ago.
By a hero? 1,000 years ago? I'll take it. How much do I owe you?
For a collector such as yourself, sir, I'm happy to offer it at a discounted price. Let's see, that'll be...
Hold on. Stop trying to swindle my friend. You're claiming a hero from House Karen had their crest engraved on this coin. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Tell me, as a collector of antiques, are you familiar with this piece? It's a legendary sword.
Ma'am, please, keep your nose out of my... What? Is that Thunderbrand? That's not possible. It couldn't be.
You are familiar with it. Excellent. Perhaps you know how cleanly it slices through liars and cheats. Ah!
You're saying that whole story was a lie?
I thought it was obvious.
Alright, we finally made through supports. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go use the little person's room. I'll be back. We're gonna get started with the mission. I think probably pick this back up later on. Yes, I'm not getting any viewership whatsoever. Yeah.
perfect.
Hello.
I am grateful. I hope I can handle this.
Sorry to trouble you.
You're going to receive the goddess's revelation at the Holy Tomb? That's news to me. I did not see that coming.
Lady Rhea's going too, right? I hear it will be well guarded, but is that really okay?
If Solon's allies are still around, it's certainly true that we don't know when or where they may appear.
I don't know what type of place this holy tomb is, but we should be cautious.
If something happens, we'll have to take matters into our own hands.
What do you think, Professor? Is it really okay for Lady Rhea to attend?
It seems to be tightly sealed, I'll give you that. We should be fine as long as nothing goes terribly wrong. Yep, just as long as nothing goes wrong. Well, the truth is, we won't know what's going to happen until it happens. All we can do is stay on our guard and play it by ear.
That's quite enough babbling, Claude. There is nobody more unfit for a holy ceremony than you.
Divine punishment won't strike us for setting foot in the Holy Tomb, right? Good grief. Why are you always so negative? Flame? Is something on your mind?
Who, me? No. It is nothing. May we all see this through to the end.
It still doesn't make sense to me. A goddess was living inside Teach, right? But now there's a ceremony to receive a revelation or whatever. How could that be necessary anymore? There must be another objective. It's pointless to speculate about it now. We'll know the answer soon enough. There isn't any danger for us students, but be careful, Teach.
you surprised, Professor? This is the Holy Tomb.
That mechanism for descending underground back there, what powers it? When I tried to come by myself, it wouldn't even budge.
This is where the goddess who created this world was laid to rest, along with her children. It is said that our creator, the goddess Sophis, sat upon this very throne. Professor, do you recognize this throne? So long. I have waited so very long for this day. Sit upon the throne. I have no doubt you will be gifted a revelation from the goddess. Well? It was supposed to be but a step away. What could possibly be missing?
Sorry to disturb you when you're distressed, Archbishop, but it seems some uninvited guests have arrived.
Don't move, any of you. If you move, your lives will be forfeit. Thank you ever so much for guiding us this far. The Imperial Army will now take possession of everything in the Holy Tomb.
The Imperial Army? What are they doing here?
So, they knew we were heading to the Holy Tomb and followed us here. Hey, who is that standing next to the angry guy? Could that be...
The Flame Emperor. I see. So you've been allied with the Empire from the beginning.
What are they doing here? What do they hope to gain?
There's only one goal for grave robbers like these. Right, Flame Emperor? You're here to steal the treasure that rests within the Holy Tomb.
For a fool you catch on quickly. Those crest stones will be ours. That infernal power, which is masquerading as a medicine but is truly a poison, will plague this world no longer.
Insolence! You will atone for the sin of trampling on this holy resting place. Professor, destroy these villainous traitors who dare dishonor our creator.
Thank you.
I am grateful.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I will not.
The crest...
Who, me? Sorry, did I hurt you?
I got this.
I will get the victory.
I stand ready.
Here we go, Marianne. Oops.
I will not.
crest.
Who, me?
I stand ready.
I'm not done yet.
That is...
I got this. Should have trained better.
Stay focused. As expected.
Ready anytime. I'm so sorry! I actually won!
Ready and willing.
Was that helpful? I guess I feel a little strong.
Who, me?
Sally forth! A grand skirmish. Leave it to me.
My moment has arrived. Never underestimate an outsider. Hey, I got an idea.
You're making me work. Ever so sorry. I shall rise, but your day is past.
Huh, I have an idea.
I'm sorry.
I get things done. It's hard to be happy about that. Appreciated.
We will lend a hand.
We shall take any opening.
May I help?
I've got an idea.
That is that.
It was a good try.
Huh? It worked out.
A grand skirmish.
You were outmatched.
I mean, I could technically end this
Stay
now
focused.
if I rally Hilda.
Thank you.
So now she has 9 move.
Who, me?
Yeah, she could probably end this actually.
You wish to interfere? Then your life is forfeit.
Oh dear, maybe I was too lazy.
So, the end has come.
Is this some sick joke? The Flame Emperor is actually Edelgard?
You have disappointed me, Edelgard. To think that a descendant of House Hresmelk would dare betray the Holy Church. Professor, kill Edelgard at once. She is a danger to all of Fodlan. Such a rebellious heart cannot be allowed to keep beating.
I have achieved my objective. I will retreat. Farewell, Professor. If we meet again, it will be on the battlefield. Come, Hubert.
To flee is futile, wicked girl. The Church of Seros will raise its entire army against you until you have been captured and punished. You have defiled the Holy Tomb, dishonored the goddess, and humiliated your brethren. That crime will never be erased. Even if you burn in the eternal flames and spill all of your blood into the goddess's soil. Come, Professor. Let us return and decide upon our next course of action.
I'm not exactly on friendly terms with the princess, but I do have a few questions for her. Edelgard said that the crest stones represent power. That means she knows how to use them. She almost certainly knows other secrets of Fodlan as well. Once things calm down a bit, there's a lot more that Rhea needs to tell us. I just hope there's still time. I have this strange feeling that history is being written, that an age of anarchy is upon us. Let's hope I'm mistaken.
The leaders of the church have misused its creed to fulfill their true desire, to rule the world.
Yay,
They have
finally made
fooled
it.
the people of Fodlan. Long ago, they divided the empire to create a kingdom, and then divided that kingdom to create an alliance. They did all of this to make the masses bicker amongst themselves. They caused instability in order to reinforce their own authority. They gathered gold and lived in extravagance. How? By preying on the devotion of those who wished for the goddess's salvation. Those corrupt hypocrites cannot lead Fodlan to true peace. Their foul belief system must be torn asunder so that true wisdom may finally prevail. And so, I have decided, by order of the Adrestian Emperor, Edelgard von Hresvelg, the Empire hereby declares war on the Church of Seros.
I cannot believe it. Let us recount the situation as it stands, Professor. After you returned from the Holy Tomb, the Adrestian Empire declared war upon the Church of Seros, as well as our allies. Edelgard demanded her own father relinquish the throne, and then assumed the position of Emperor. She has deemed the Church of Seros to be an evil of this world, and is calling upon the people of Fodlan to help her tear it down. I must discuss our response to this declaration with the Archbishop, after the Knights return from their investigation. Until then, watch over the students. See that they remain calm.
I heard what happened, Teach. The princess, well, the Emperor now. She really did it, didn't she? The lords and dukes of both the kingdom and the alliance have been called out, and now have to choose between the church and the empire. The seed of conflict was always there, and now we find ourselves in the middle of a war that will tear Fodlan in two.
The Empire is rash, but I never thought it would come to this. How could something like this happen? I hope everyone back home is safe. I'm sure it's mass confusion at home right now. My brother must be worried sick about me.
You're absolutely right, Teach. I'm sure a lot of us are worried about our homes, but all we can do for now is prepare for battle and tread carefully.
Alright, I'll see you guys later today with the rest of the time, with chapter 12.